The man the world calls Superman was once overweight, rejected, and overlooked. This is not a story about talent. This is a story about discipline. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Dive into what really happened. Nobody sees the quiet moments before success. Nobody sees the self-doubt that creeps in late at night. Nobody sees the embarrassment, the comparisons, or the silent questions about self-worth that echo in your mind when you feel like you don't belong. Today, the world recognizes Henry Cavill as a symbol of strength, confidence, and discipline. He is often associated with powerful roles, heroic images, and physical excellence. But long before the red carpets, interviews, and movie posters, his reality looked very different. As a teenager, Henry struggled with his weight. He didn't fit the image people expected. He didn't feel comfortable in his own body, and like many young people, he was deeply aware of how others saw him. That awareness can be heavy. Makes you question yourself. It makes you wonder if you are enough as you are. Those early years weren't glamorous. There was no applause, no validation, just quiet discomfort. But those uncomfortable moments mattered more than anyone realized at the time. Because discomfort forces a choice. You can either run from it, hide from it, or let it shape you. This is where the real story begins. Not with fame, success, or recognition, but with discomfort. With learning to sit in moments that feel awkward and uncertain. With realizing that growth often starts where comfort ends. Discomfort, when faced honestly, has a way of building discipline, teaches patience, strengthens resilience, and it prepares you for challenges you cannot yet see. Most people never see this part of the journey. But this part decides everything. Rejection doesn't always arrive loudly. There is no dramatic moment, no clear ending. Sometimes it comes in silence. Sometimes it's an email that never arrives. Sometimes it's a phone call that never comes back. As Henry Cavill continued to pursue acting, rejection became a familiar part of his journey. He auditioned, waited, and hoped, only to watch roles go to someone else. Opportunities that felt close slowly slipped away. There were moments when success seemed just within reach, and then suddenly it wasn't. This kind of rejection is difficult because it feels personal. When you invest time, energy, and belief into something, being passed over can make you question your value. Makes you wonder if you chose the wrong path. If you are chasing something that simply isn't meant for you. For many people, this is where the story ends. Rejection convinces them to stop trying. It whispers that effort isn't worth it. That maybe quitting is the smarter choice. But here is where Henry Cavill's story takes a different turn. Instead of allowing rejection to define him, he chose to learn from it. He didn't see it as proof that he wasn't good enough. He saw it as information, feedback, a sign that something could be improved. Instead of fighting reality or blaming others, he accepted it and adjusted his approach. That decision matters more than talent. Because continuing without guarantees requires discipline. Means showing up when no one is watching. It means improving even when there is no promise of reward. This quiet choice, to keep moving forward despite uncertainty, is where discipline truly begins. Discipline is not dramatic. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't wait for motivation or excitement. Most of the time, discipline looks boring. It happens in quiet rooms, early mornings, and long days when no one is paying attention. There are no cameras, no applause, and no instant rewards. While waiting for the right opportunity, Henry Cavill focused on what he could control. He couldn't control casting decisions or industry trends. He couldn't control who would get the next big role. But he could control his effort. So he worked on his fitness, not for attention but for readiness. He trained consistently, building strength and endurance through routine rather than excitement. At the same time, he continued to study acting, not to impress others, but to master his craft. Each day became an investment in preparation, even when the future was uncertain. There was no promise of success, no guarantee that the work would ever pay off. That uncertainty makes discipline difficult. When results are delayed, motivation fades. Many people stop at this stage because they don't feel confident yet. But discipline doesn't wait for confidence. Most people believe confidence comes first, and action comes later. In reality, it works the opposite way. Discipline comes first. Action comes next. Confidence is built slowly through repeated effort. Henry Cavill showed up even when it was uncomfortable. Even when progress felt invisible. Even when no one was watching. This is the part most people skip. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait to feel ready. They wait for permission. Discipline doesn't wait. Discipline acts first. And confidence follows later. One of the most overlooked parts of Henry Cavill's journey is that he never tried to become someone else to fit in. As his career progressed and attention increased, he didn't erase the parts of himself that felt different. Instead, he accepted them. He openly embraced interests that didn't match the typical celebrity image. Gaming, fantasy stories, quiet hobbies that many people might hide to appear more acceptable. In an industry that often rewards loud personalities and carefully crafted images, choosing to remain genuine is not easy. Many people believe success requires changing who you are, acting a certain way, hiding your real interests, performing a version of yourself that feels more impressive to others. But this approach comes at a cost. When success is built on pretending, it becomes exhausting. You end up trapped by the image you created, constantly afraid of being exposed. The pressure to maintain that version of yourself never goes away. Authenticity, on the other hand, creates stability. By staying true to himself, Cavill allowed his success to grow naturally. He didn't force a personality for approval. He didn't chase trends to feel relevant. He understood that confidence doesn't come from fitting in. It comes from self-acceptance. Rejection didn't force him to abandon who he was. Instead, it forced him to sharpen his strengths, to become more comfortable with his identity rather than hiding it. Over time, that authenticity became part of what people respected about him. In a loud world that constantly demands attention, staying authentic is a quiet form of discipline. It requires courage. It requires patience. And it requires trust in yourself when others may not understand you yet. That authenticity didn't weaken him. It became one of his greatest strengths. When the opportunity finally arrived, the role that would introduce Henry Cavill to the world, he wasn't rushing to catch up. He wasn't scrambling to become someone new at the last moment. He was ready, physically ready, because years of consistent training had already built strength and discipline. Mentally ready, because rejection had taught him patience and resilience. Emotionally grounded, because he no longer measured his worth by instant approval. To the outside world, his rise looked sudden, looked like luck, like an overnight breakthrough. But what people didn't see were the years of quiet effort behind it. The auditions that didn't lead anywhere. The long periods of uncertainty. The work done without recognition. This is the part of success that is almost always misunderstood. Success rarely arrives on schedule. It doesn't announce itself. And it doesn't reward potential. It rewards preparation. Henry Cavill didn't wait for opportunity to start improving. He improved while waiting. That decision changed everything. If you are struggling right now, if rejection has made you question your direction, if your effort feels invisible and unrewarded, understand this. Invisible work is not wasted work. Discipline doesn't promise immediate results. It doesn't guarantee comfort or applause. But it always builds something valuable: strength, skill, confidence, and resilience. And when your moment finally comes, you won't rise to the level of your dreams. You won't rise to the level of your hopes. You will rise to the level of your preparation. That is the real lesson.